Okay, so now that we've discussed the whole notion of omnipresence, and that everything exists in this waveform, and that waveform is all around us, and that because it's all around us, we are omnipresent, because you're waveform, I'm waveform, our thoughts are in waveform. It means that I can connect to your thoughts and you can connect to my thoughts if we practice the ability of fine-tuning those things, because those thoughts exist in waveform. If we train ourselves, we can detect those four-dimensional waveform concepts of thought, and we can decode those four-dimensional waveform into coherent three-dimensional thought form that we apply, in this case, to language, right? So I could think about what you're thinking, right? I could think about what you're thinking, I could pick up on that, and I could turn that into language. Although it would be imperfect. Why? Because you will filter a little bit, I will filter, I will interpret. It's not an exact science. I will pick up on parts of what you say, and then I might turn around and write it down and say, I think he or she is thinking this. That's reading your thoughts, right? It's one bizarre but one application of this. You can pick up on those kinds of things. If everything is energy and energy is everything, and it's all in waveform, that means that it's all there. Have you ever thought about the idea that when you're sitting around and you're thinking, you know, I have this old friend and I haven't called that old friend, and then all of a sudden, boom, the phone rings and there that friend is in that phone? Well, why do you think that is? Do you think that that's just coincidence, that just happened like that? Let me give you an example. Just the other day, I had an opportunity to be telling a story to a group of individuals, and in this story, I started talking about a friend of mine. I'm not going to mention this guy's name, but this guy was a friend of mine. We served in the Army together, and we were close friends, and we had a good connection. But I left the Army. This guy continued on, and I had not spoken to this individual in 11 years. 11 years I had not spoken to him. Now, I thought about him a lot of times, and a lot of telling stories to people. I used to say, and I had this friend. I had no idea where this guy was. I had no idea if he was alive. I didn't know if he was dead. I didn't know where he was or what he was doing. I didn't know if he stayed in the Army. I didn't know if he went on to become a writer, which is what he wanted to do. But 11 years later, I spend this time speaking in a highly emotional setting about this individual as being my friend. That was on the 6th of the month. The 7th, the 8th, and the 9th went by. And on the 10th of the month, I go to pick up my email. I am not kidding you. The first email that pops up in my Outlook is an email from this guy that I have not spoken to in 11 years. But I thought about him 4 days earlier. 4 days earlier, I engaged with this guy on an emotional, spiritual level. I thought about him. I was thinking really good, powerful, strong thoughts about him, and I began wondering. You know, as the days went by afterwards, I was thinking, I wonder where he is. I wonder what's happening. The first email I open up is from this guy, and he's going, hey, this is just a shot in the dark. I was thinking about you a couple of days ago, and so I just wanted to see, and I went to your webpage, and I'm sending this email off to your staff, and I'm hoping your staff will forward this email to you. Instantly, we reconnect again. Instantly, we're sharing emails back and forth halfway around the world with each other, just catching up on old times. I mean, this guy was a really